going on, YouTube? Sports Cards 1 here. So today, let me get this situated. Today we have an SGC order that just came back, and what's interesting about this order is all the cards besides these two are cards that PSA would not grade. These were all sent to PSA at one point in time this year and over the past 6 months, and they sent them back either altered or minimum size required and wouldn't slab them, grade them, or authenticate them. So I decided to take them off, take a chance and send them off to SGC. And the funny thing is that every card I sent to SGC, they slabbed. So we'll look at that, a little head scratching. And then I got a nice little new pickups here that I got the past couple weeks. So we'll go through those too. Those are pretty cool. All right, so let's get the two cards that I actually sent in with this order. I pulled these. I got a pretty good deal on Box of Elite, and I don't really open too much, as I said before, but got a pretty good deal on it at the show. Yeah, it was 180 bucks for a hobby box, so I figured I'd go some Cade hunting, and I hit it. I got this Panini Red die cut Aspirations out of 98. Came back 9.5. It does have some little bit of whiting right here, so I was expecting a 9, to be honest with you. So it's a pretty cool card. This will go into the PC. It's Cade. I like him, local guy now, so we'll keep this in the PC. I don't think I should have sent this in. It probably wasn't worth it. So this card, Just Giddy, sells for about $30 raw, and I thought I had a chance at a 9.5. There must be something on it I missed, but either way, it's still, I don't know. Definitely not going to make any money on this one, but we'll put it aside. All right, let's go into these cards from the ones that were, like I said, all sent to PSA, and they all came back altered or minimum size required, and I don't know. It's kind of funny, but this is a Walter Hagen. I know this is beat to hell. It's missing a piece of the card, a million creases. But the reason why I actually sent this in to get authenticated is that I found this in a dollar box. I think I paid $5 for it. And once they're slabbed, these sell for over $100. So I think 140, and has zero eye appeal. But somebody who wants a Walter Hagen authenticated 1933 Sports Kings gum card, well, they can have one for $100. I sent some of these were some of the cards I sent in. I don't know if it was worth sending it in for the $20, but these are some of the vintage stuff. These sell pretty well for me, like 40, 50 bucks at the shows. Any of these slabbed low grade. I think some of these cards, to be honest with you, that we're going to see the grades, they were pretty harsh on them. But there's one particular mantle in here that was a little head scratching why it was graded so low, but we'll look at it together. This is 61 Aaron. It's probably worth like 40 bucks. And I mean, with the grading fee and everything and PSA, I'll probably break even on it, but whatever. This is more of an experiment than it was for me sending into SGC to make money. I'm just kind of trying to see what's going on, because some of these cards, I'm like, there's no way. This card also came back altered from PSA, and it's a 62 Topps Mickey Mantle. It's a 3. So you can see the corner issues. It's completely rounded. This is a really tough set, though, with that dark brown border there. But yeah, this one came back as altered from PSA, and that's a 3. So it's probably, I don't know, $200 card now. So definitely glad I sent it in. We got another mantle here. Same thing with this one. This one came back as altered. The only thing I can see, this would be higher than a 2. It has really good centering. Mickey Mantle looks completely hammered in that picture, which he probably was. There's some paper loss on the back here, and that's a that'll hit any card from any grader. So I was expecting a 2 on this. I just wanted to get in a slab. It has really good eye appeal from the front. Probably $150, $200 card maybe on a good day. But yeah, just these sell great for me at the show. Any of these low slabbed manuals, if they're slabbed, they do very well. So here's a couple other, I guess, some more manuals. Here's a couple other interesting cards that came back. Both of these were minimum size required from PSA. And this is a pretty cool card. This will do really well at the show. And it actually looks better in an SGC slab than it does in a PSA, I think. But this is the Chris Webber. It's a 93 Classic Draft Picks rookie. It's the autographed. Somebody had to hand number 9,500 of these. That's that sucked to have that job. But as you can see, Chris Webber signed in gold ink there, and then he had to sign 9,500 of these. It probably took him all year to do so. But back then, I mean, 9,500 was pretty short printed, believe it or not. But you see it right here, 1 out of 9,500. But this is a cool card. I don't know what this is worth. I haven't seen too many of these, but it's probably not that expensive, but still. Nevertheless, looks sharp in this slab. This next one also came back minimum size required, and this card looks gorgeous in the SGC slab. This is out of the 04-05 Topps luxury box. That was a great set. I think there's a really nice LeBron in there too, but look at the Signs of Luxury, T-Mac. Really hoping for a 9 on this, but I'm probably missing something here. But I guess I nailed it on the corners. There's a little bit of chipping, but these look pretty good. But either way, it's a cool card. It's short printed out of 100, and I think I'm going to put this in the PC. I really like the way it looks, and I can't remember where I got this from, but I think it was. I think I bought it it was in a collection, so it's probably not worth a ton, but I mean, it's got to be at least a $100 card. Here's another manual. This one was minimum size required. The next two were minimum size required too from PSA. This is a 63, and it came back at 3.5. It's got pretty decent eye appeal on it. Soft corners. I think there's a crease in it somewhere. I remember looking at it. Yeah, it's right there. But nevertheless, I mean, it's better as a 3.5 than minimum size required. I mean, for Christ's sakes, some of the shit that PSA is doing, pardon my French, lately, their inconsistency has been baffling. But nevertheless, I came back. SGC did grade it. It's a 3.5, and I did measure this card, by the way, and there was nothing minimum sized about it. Here's the high number from 62, the All-Star card, Sporting News manual. I've always liked this card. This is actually a really expensive card as you start getting higher up in grades, because being the high number and stuff, this is probably the most expensive Sporting News there is out of all the manuals for all the years. But this came back at 3, and once again, glad to have it in a slab. I do like one thing, you'll see it coming too, is if it is minimum size required, or if there's something maybe altered on it, SGC does slab them as authentic if the card's authentic. So all 3 of these Jeters came back minimum size required. I sent in, I think you guys see in the previous video too, I sent in, I think like 5 or 6 copies, and even SGC hammers this card. Even if I think I'm getting an 8 or a 7, I'm not. I have a lot of experience with this card, and I planned on getting 7s and 8s. I was kind of like, I can't remember if this was, I thought a 7. I know I had a couple in here that I thought that were going to be 8s, and out of the run I sent this year, I think I only got 1 8 out of all of them. But I mean, 7's still nice for this card. It's such a sensitive card. I mean, they scratch so easily, and it's thin paper stock. I mean, I guess I can see it. There's some scratches there, but even SGC holds this card back. But nevertheless, they slabbed them, and they're not minimum size required. This was the one that baffled me. PSA deemed this one minimum size required, and this was definitely in my last videos. The Kobe Bryant refractor came back 7, which I don't know if it's a centering issue. I know that does have some print dots in there, but some dimples, I mean. But I don't know. I think I'm going to crack this again and give this another shot over at SGC. I really think this is an 8 or an 8.5. There is a print line right there. So between the print line, 1, 2, I can see 3 dimples. Corners look good. Edges look good. Maybe that's what it is. That print line, they just hammered it, and those dimples. But either way, it looks sharp in that slab, doesn't it, guys? I mean, really, it's got some nice shine to it. Anyway, PSA, minimum size required. Maybe they didn't realize it was a die cut. This mantle came back altered, which I don't understand how. This is probably the nicest looking 3 you will ever see. When I sent it in, I did find, I was expecting it to come back a 4 or 5, to be honest with you, because I did buy this at a show and the lighting wasn't that good, and I missed it, so I think I paid like $700 for this card, so I'm not going to make any money on it. But if I hit the light just right, and you're not going to see it in the camera, but there is some surface wrinkles. And wrinkles are just as bad as creases. And there's a wrinkle here, and there's a wrinkle right there. And besides that, I mean, this card looks great. And I mean, it should sell in the upper echelon of 3s, maybe even catch a 4 price just because of the eye appeal on this. But there's some wrinkles in it, and they hammered it. They did. But they came back as altered from PSA, and SGC slabbed it. This one came back. I know for a fact this is the one that was just because there's a little print mark on the other Gretzky I'm going to show, but this was the one that was minimum size required. And SGC graded it a 5, but it was minimum size required from PSA. And you know what's funny is, like I said this in the last video, I sent a lot of these Gretzky Topps ones in, not so much the O-Peaches, but the Topps Gretzky's in, and if I sent 20 of them in, at least 6, maybe 8 out of the 20 are coming back minimum size required. There's something about this card that PSA just doesn't like, or they're trying to hold back the population on it. I haven't figured it out yet, but either way, kind of liking an SGC slab now. I've never graded a Gretzky in SGC, and looks pretty nice in it. I'm not sure what the value of this is in SGC versus a PSA. I wonder, I know with vintage, with SGC vintage, with the lower grade vintage, SGC is not far behind PSA and sometimes outsells PSA, but I saw like a 5% difference. But when you start getting into some of the higher grade PSA vintage, like 8s and some, maybe even some 7s, there is a difference in price from SGC to PSA, and PSA is still king. So yeah, I can tell by this print dot right there, that white, but they sent this one back as altered. Maybe they thought because there was a print dot it was altered. I don't know. I mean, who knows who they got grading over there now. I mean, the company it's grown so big. Maybe it's something by the guy's face. It looks like there's a little dimple in there. I think that's probably what it is. But And maybe that's what it is. But either way, I'd rather have it in an authentic slab than come back as altered and put in that little card saver with a little sticker on it. So anyway, got an authentic Gretzky here with nice eye appeal. Something else you really want to look at too on this when you're grading these cards is you can see the focus. It's kind of like the Ricky Henderson cards too from Topps. They're rookies. Take a look at the focus on these cards. You may have a card that's centered and nice corners and think it's going to grade high, and then if the photo is out of focus, you're going to get a lower grade than you thought. We got a 58 Banks, nice high appeal. Came back at 5. This was altered too. I'm looking at my list right now. They had this marked as altered, so still nice card. And they also had the minimum size required for Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax. It's a 60. Crazy valuable card, but a couple $100 maybe, 150. It's nice. I mean, it's a 6. Normally for this card, though, see the yellow right there, and there's not the letters and every other there. When those pop, that really makes this card look good. Yeah, this graded a lot lower than I thought, but this was also a minimum size required Aaron. I thought this was going to grade at least a 4, and it came back at 2.5. So, let's see. Either way. Fine. And then we got, I don't know what happened here. This came back as a 1. There must be a huge surface crease maybe right there. This card will just, there's writing on it. I totally missed that. Or a stamp of some sort. This card will just go into the closet and I'll never sell that. Whatever. Pretty cool. Got a nice little maze here as a 5. This one came back. This was a minimum size required too. It just amazes me that so many of these cards were either altered or minimum size required, and then SGC grades them all. All 3 of these were altered from PSA, and we have a 4, 5, a 6, and a 5. Like I said, all these low grade manuals do very well. It's cool, you know. It's like me. I pick them up all the time. You'll see in my pickups here. I think I got a couple low grade manuals in there too. I pick them up all the time if the price is right. They're nice to have. I mean, $100, $200. It's kind of like gold and silver. Goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit. But. And last, this was altered, and this came back as a 2. I think I had this as a 3.5, and that's okay. Whatever. But Hank Aaron, it's 57, one of my favorite sets. So that's it for the SGC. Put in the comments what you think about that. All these cards, like I said, it was over various orders over the past 6 months, and I just kind of put them aside. I didn't. It was an experiment I wanted to try. I wanted to see what would happen if I sent them all to SGC and what they would do. And 2 of them they authenticated only, and then the rest of them they put a grade on it. So either somebody's messing up, it's SGC or PSA, we don't know. So anyway, here's new pickups, some new cards. Picked these up from the show, a couple of them from eBay. And I don't know, some pretty cool stuff. Gonna get some of these graded, maybe send these in for a new PSA order. It's pretty cool. It's Kobe Bryant Topps Chrome Fast Furious Refractor. I'm not sure the value of this. I think I only paid like $70 for it, but it looked really clean, and it's got a great shine to it. Got a good deal on this. Paid like $150 for this. It's out of 35. It's Select Kareem Abdul. Too bad it's a sticker auto, but I'll send that in the grade. Got another Kobe refractor. I bought both of these together in one deal. Same seller. It's a nice refractor. I like it inserts. Some people don't. I like them. Picked this up. Mike Trout Clear 1 autographs. It's out of Topps Tier 1. I think it's out of 2021 set. No, this one's out of 2018. It's out of 25. It's a nice card. A little streaky auto though, so we gotta make sure if I send this to Beckett or SGC that the auto does not get graded. That'll hurt. I really, I really don't like the auto grade in the SGC. It's too busy of a slab. You'll see some prices on some of this stuff because I already priced them. These I got a show this weekend for Thanksgiving, so I already got some of these. I paid 175 bucks for this. It's another low-end mantle, but you sell for $250. Put a 300 tag on it. It's may off for me. $250. I'd take it. Still, it's a PSA 3 mantle. Here's a pretty big card. I traded for this. I got a guy named from On Point Collecting. Gave him a Ricky Henderson PSA 9 rookie card and a little bit of cash. There's Devin Booker 15-16 select. This is a tie-dye at a 25. BGS 95, 10 auto out of 25. I said that. Got a sticker of $3,000 on it. I don't know. PSA 10 sold for like $3,500. PSA 9 bad comp sold at like $1,600. And then there was an SGC or a BGS 95 less than a month ago that sold for $3,200. So I think my low on this, if I sell it at a show, if anybody offers, is like $2,600. I think I'd take 26 for it. Could be a good hold card though. I mean, this guy's balling right now. I think he had 48 points against Utah the other day and still lost, but either way, still great card. Picked up this 19 Hoops premium stock. This set really went into the gutter. Never caught on. I think they released it too late. It was like well off the season was over. It was also, it just, I don't know, just I think they messed the set up. I mean, it's an okay looking set, but it was the 1 year that they did it only, and we're probably never going to see it again. But this is the Ja Morant Blue Mojo. It's out of 99. It's a PSA 9. Everything looked really good on it, but there was a little bit of whiting on that corner there, so that's what held it back. Still, nevertheless, it's a nice card. Picked up a couple Barclays. He's doing great until he played Detroit this weekend. We crushed him, and he only had like 20 yards. I don't know, like something low like that, but I paid 50 bucks for both of these cards. So, I mean, 25 bucks a piece. Run it. So here's a prospect I've been grabbing. This is Andre Lipkis. He's they kept him on the roster, and I think he's going to be called up this year or next year. I got his Gold Wave refractor, his blue refractor, his regular, his other blue refractor. So I got two blues, which is color match refractor. I paid $100 for all these. It's a steal. And then they just announced that they're keeping him, and they got plans for him. And this card right now is worth $150. So I thought I did really well on that. Anyway, he's still cheap on eBay. Andre Lipkis, I mean, you can still get a lot of his cards for dirt cheap. So I'd look out for him. Probably grab him right now. I got a couple cool cards that I bought. I picked these up on eBay. God, wait till you see how thick these are. This is out of, I want to say 13-14 Exquisite. This is Julius Erving shoe. It's out of 35. It's on card auto. That's the size of that thing. So lesson here, guys. If you get these cards that are like 360 point or whatever the heck this is, do not send them to Beckett. Beckett does not grade or SGC cards this thick. The only company that will slab these is PSA. So, and the problem with that is that we all know PSA hammers thick cards. So I guess the best bet would be send it in just to get authenticated and get it slabbed authenticated. So it could, unless it comes back altered, probably. Anyway, sorry, I digress. But anyway, this is Julius Erving. This card's sick. Just picked that up. I'm trying to figure it out. And I got another card right here. Same thing. This one is from 2010 to 2009 Exquisite. This is the first year. The reason why you see Calvin, that's in his Georgia Tech with the Lions patches here. This is the year Upper Deck lost their license. And they still had a collegiate license, but they lost their NFL license. I think this is 2010. I think they lost it in 9. But this is the rare materials out of Exquisite. This one's 2 out of 3. This card's in pretty good condition. It really is, especially for the gold border and the foil. These patches are ridiculous. I have no idea what it's worth. I put a $600 sticker on it, but I don't know. It's all game used too. And it's one hell of a Calvin card if you ask me. So, later. Next 2 cards are pretty, finish up with some baseball. I don't understand why this card's so cheap. It's Juan Soto, Transcendent. I mean, it's what, a $15,000 box. It's out of 25, it's on card. It's got that cheesy framed. I've never been a fan of it. Even when Museum was putting the framed cards, I didn't like it. But like, literally, I mean, it sells for $125 to $150 all day. Maybe it'll go up during baseball season. So finally, last card. I know a lot of people hate HGA. I do like their slab with that horizontal here. It's nice, but this is out of this year's Heritage. It's out of 25. It's Mike Trout, Ohtani, dual. I don't think people realize how tough of a pull this is. If you can open a case of Heritage and you probably get out of 12 boxes, maybe 4 autos, maybe if you're lucky, 5, maybe. Could be even less, and because normally you get the Clubhouse Collection Relic, and much less to pull Mike Trout, Ohtani. So there was 3 comps on this. I got this on eBay on a rainy day, on a Monday at 1:30 in the morning, you know, auction. And I was going to bed, and I threw like a $1,600 bid in before I went to bed, and I woke up and I won it for $12.25. I'm like, what? Couldn't believe it. The last 3 comps for this were $2,500, and one of them was like 2 weeks before this auction ended, raw for $2,500. And I think the HGA slab held it back. I really do. I'm on the fence about cracking this, to be honest with you. I really like the way it looks. And I'm probably going to keep this, so I'm probably not going to crack it. And I think it would be a PSA 8. It does have corners of an 8, 9 edges, 9.5 on the surface, and 10 on centering. But I was looking closely at the corners, and they're pretty beat up, as a lot of Heritage cards are. So anyway, that's everything today, and I hope you enjoyed the video.